ladies and gentlemen. This is the Just Acting Up show. We got a special guest. We got a queen in the building, so we got to clap it in real quick for her. Thank you. Joining us, this is Mariah. Mariah, I'm so sorry. And hello and good morning to you. Because we recording in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. And every time I say your name, Mariah, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Mariah.
Yeah, like
go back like Beauty's a pacifier.
Yeah, how many times?
ODB line.
Yeah, how many times you hear that?
Of a lot. Not too much anymore, but a lot back in the day. Yeah.
For our generation, we're like, hey, I know about it. That's it.
Yeah, it's the millennials and up,
Yeah, that is us. So, like I said, thank you again, once again, for getting up out of your bed and, waking up and getting the crust out y'all for joining us.
You still hear that raspy voice of the morning. That's why I have my coffee.
Beer and all. Hey, I ain't picking. Hey,
me and you both.
Yes, ma'am. So, tell us about yourself, Mariah. I know you're in acting and you're actually an actress.
Actress.
Yes.
I'm Mariah Baillie. I met James at Next Level Acting Studios. We took Shelley Black's class together. But I used to work in oil and gas, and I got very not happy with the environment, and I just felt like my life was wasting away. That's being like very over dramatic. So then I decided to do something that I love, which is acting. And luckily I met James. He's absolutely brilliant. And also was lucky enough to get signed onto an agency, and just all went on from there. Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm about to say, man, girl, keep talking good about it. Nah, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. I was just telling Mike and Chris is that and I'm happy that I met you as well too, and at the Andersons and Shelley's class, and when in that class, it's just some people that you can just know where you say some people might need like a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of work, but I can't remember. I think it was the second class, or I don't know what class it was, when I finally got a chance to meet you. And I think we worked the scene together, or just not only working that scene with you. When I took a step back and just saw you work the scene, I was like, she has it. And I was like, no joke, Mariah just has it. And it just, I was like, she's gonna be somebody in this. We already are somebody.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
No problem at all.
What was the thing that really made you say that you wanted to get into acting?
I mean, I grew up in acting. So like way back when I was younger, I was in dance. I was actually in the Nutcracker a few times. And then I went into musical theater. And then up until my 20s, I was in theater. And then I met my husband. And then just like took a break, and we were just trying to figure out life because we were just traveling around, and I lived in London for a little bit. And so when we got back, he was just like, just do something practical, just get something practical. That way, like if acting doesn't work out, you can fall back on something. And it took me 5 years to do a practical degree. And then after graduating, I got right into the oil and gas field, and I just took up my time, and I just hated it. Like something inside me was just like, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. And so I sat down with my husband, and I was just like, look, let me just give this one more try, and if it doesn't work out, then, what oil and gas it is for me. But like, I just can't live my life knowing that I didn't try my best to, be in the career that I want to be in.
Right.
So.
I find it interesting when people say, this is it, I'm done, I want to move on to something else. Like they have a job, like a 9 to 5, and it's like, I want to go pursue my dream. So what was the straw that broke the camel's back that day?
So like the job that I had, it was very demanding. Right. And the group that I worked with, even though they were nice enough to help out when times got tough, it was still like I just felt like alone in my own little bubble. And I was just like crying almost every other day because I couldn't understand what I was doing and just like bogged down with a lot of work. And I was just like, you know, this just isn't it. Like this is, I think I was so upset because I knew this is what I didn't want to do. Right. So you just always have that that little thought in the back of your mind, just being like, what if you just, you know, give up all like the money, because the money is good in oil and gas, but it's just, it takes you a long time to get where you need to be in acting. And are you willing to put in that work? And a lot of people aren't, you know, so that's why they continue with their 9-to-5s, because they just don't believe in their art and what they can become. But if you have that drive, you know, it all works out.
Very well said.
Sorry, it's a ramble.
No, you're good.
You're good. No worries at all. I'm enjoying the conversation because I always hear about that too with oil and gas. Like it's very, like you said, demanding and the hours and it just weighs you down. And like what you said right there, like you crying like damn near every day. Then that's when you know you're like, nah, I can't do this, and that's it. That's a wrap. So I applaud you for, you know, making that transition into doing that, because I know it was hard for you and for your husband.
Thank you. Yeah, luckily he's supportive.
That's
supportive enough. Yeah. Having that support system that like backs you up no matter what, that's a good thing to have too. So
yeah. That's very true. Go ahead and give a shout out to your husband, man. Give a shout out to the hubby, man.
Thank you, hubby.
Oh man, give a shout out to you.
I was a part of that oil and gas a very long time ago, and it was 7 days, 12 hours every day.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, that's no.
Did you like work on the rig or like outside or?
Outside with the pipes.
Oh Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. No, thank you, sir.
Yeah. My wife, she said, if you continue that job, I was gonna be done with you.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It takes up your life. That's no.
It really does.
I wasn't there that long at all. It didn't even.
You're just like, no, this is not for me.
Not for me. No. So, Mariah, tell me. So, who was that actress or actor? Who got you saying that? Like that? Who was your inspiration? Who were the ones that your list of like who did it for you? Who made you like say, I would love to work with that person, or who just was your inspiration overall?
I mean, back in the day, I would say like Angela Bassett was one of my top favorites. Like, Jesus Christ, just seeing her reenact Tina Turner's life and what's love got to do with it. I don't think I could be able to do those kind of scenes. I'd be like,
yeah,
who are you? Get in my face like that.
Right. We fight around here.
Yeah, for real. Angela Bassett is one of them. Lupita Nyong'o, she's brilliant. Also Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, just to name a few. Like just looking at Black queens of like where they were, like way back in the day, Taraji P. Henson and all that, and just like seeing the kind of movies that they're in now, like Marvel Universe and being the lead in TV shows, is like absolutely amazing to, you know, see them grow. So yeah, but just watching them on screen really helped me want to get into film.
When you take on new roles, like what's your process? Like how do you approach new characters and new roles?
Well, I had one approach, which was just reading the script. And after a little bit of training, I try to read the script once just to get my head inside of what the story is about. And then I go down to, because I want to know who all the characters are, like what's their life like. So I kind of try to make a background of maybe what their life is like. And if there are actors that I know that are playing those characters, I'd be like, okay, well, what do you have that in your head? That way, like when I make up my character background, especially if they have a relationship with the character that I'm portraying or playing, I can be able to kind of maybe write like a how they grew up, what kind of life they live now, why in this moment is she so upset, or why is she happy, and all these other different emotions that the character is bringing. So sitting down like for a day and just like shutting yourself in, not like the whole day, but like maybe like 2 hours, just to sit down and break down that character bit by bit, it helps out a lot to tap into like just shutting yourself off and then saying like, I need to say these words in a way that like gets to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that the fun part for you? What's the fun part for you with that? Do you have fun doing that too? I mean,
I don't. I don't like making up people's lives because I'm not used to it though. Because
Right.
like when I started, I feel like with theater, you knew kind of the role that you were playing because these plays have been around for so long that you're just like, okay, I know this character. Like I know how everybody sees them on stage. So you don't really have to dig in that much. But if you're actually, you know, playing someone else's character in a film that nobody knows, it's a whole nother ball game, you know.
It is another beast with that. And which I agree. I have fun with it, but then there are some times I'm like, if I had hair, I would pull it out. So I just pull it out. I'm like, oh my God. So I completely understand that right there.
Chris, what's your what do you do? Like with your the question goes back to you. I mean, how do you
fine questions that
get
the questions? The interview is now the interviewee.
How the tables have turned. You know, I'm fairly new to the acting space. And so I haven't really had much practice in doing it, but you know, I just read scripts. I'll do my own voices. I got a lot of voices in these head because I write a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so I have a huge imagination. And so I just have my visual on how I see the characters, and I just portray them how they come in my head.
That's a good thing about being a writer though. Like people who are writers, I feel like you could really get in tune with the character a little bit more because you have that imagination going in your mind. Whereas it's like an actor is kind of just like, here's a script. Like, I know I'm not good at writing. So like, you know, my process would probably be different, but you know, because you have that background, that really would help you out a lot.
All right. So I'm not talking to myself. I'm just get my idea together.
When I was getting ready to do this scene for the O'Shea project, I was so caught on the lines, like what there was saying word by word. And they said, well, you know, you don't have to say those words like that. I'm like, well, why is it written on paper if you want me to not say it? Because I didn't want to, I don't have to say, I can get the idea of what you want me to say, but it's not going to come out like that. It's going to come out in my own words, in my own, you know, my own expression. And one time I asked the writer, I say, would you be offended? Just like, no, I'm not. I wouldn't be offended if you say something different than what's on paper. So they changed it up because it some wording didn't sound right coming, because like nobody don't say it like that, you know. Like nobody adds this word into this when you're feeling hurt. So I think that was the biggest hang up that I had, because this is what's written on paper, so this is what I'm saying. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
You see those little grammatical errors and you're just like, that don't belong. I don't want to say that. or you say like, or beats, you know, like when you read a script and somebody's like beat, and you're just like, does it really need that much of a pause in between of what I'm trying to say, especially in this moment? I feel like maybe not, but that's where the talent comes in, right? You say like, well, maybe the writer did it this way, but let me just do it this way. Like if you go into an audition, you read that script and you're just like, that doesn't feel right. Okay, so I'm going to go in audition and do it the way I want to do it. And the casting director and maybe the director and the writer in the room, and they're saying like, well, you know, that little bit right here, and you know what they're talking about. Can you just try to add that beat in? And then you're just going to do it for them. that way, when they look at those tapes, they'll be like, okay, yeah, maybe it looked a little bit better the way he did it that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because the words have to comfort you. It has to fit you, and it was a lot of it that didn't fit. So when they told me, they said, well, it wasn't a lot, but it just, some words didn't fit me. So when they said, oh, just, you can change that, I said, okay, well then, if you give me the green light, then I do it. You know, then it was a lot of emotions. I had to cry for real.
Real tears. Real tears.
I had to cry for real.
That's hard.
It is. Man, so Mariah, tell me about because I know, like you were saying, you're with Pastorini Bosby Acting Agency. So tell me about that process right there, how you got that going.
So our mutual acting coach, Shelly Black, I did a few more like private classes with her. And I was actually telling her, because like my husband and I, we were planning on moving back to the UK.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her, I was like, well, you know, maybe I should just go back to school for acting, because I mean, it's fun doing, you know, these little classes here, but maybe I'll be a little bit better to break out in the industry in London. And she was just like, no. She was like, just try to find an agency and audition. And I was like, but I don't have any credits to my name, so like that's not going to really work out. And so I worked with her for about like a good month or so. And then she was just like, let's just do a demo. I'll send it over to them. They may say yes, they may say no. And yeah, and so I did like 2 monologues, one like a funny monologue and another dramatic one. And I think the dramatic one really got me got me into it, because literally I had her crying behind the camera after I was done. Like that's how intense it was. And yeah, and so I think like a month later they called me and they were just like, yeah, we want to sign you. So yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
It was really fun.
What's your favorite genre to act in? Comedy, horror, action?
I like comedy. I'm a comedy kind of lady. But I do like drama too. It's nice to tap into like a very serious. I think because sometimes I have a resting bitch face, so it kind of helps too. It kind of helps sometimes. Like, ooh, she looks angry, you know. But I do like comedy. I do like drama. I would love to be in an action film. That's like Jesus Christ. If I could do that, I'll just retire happy.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. I think so. Dramedy will be yours. Drama. Yeah, I think that's what they call it. Dramedy, with the drama and the comedy.
Like Love Actually, like, you know, the movies that has like 25 different characters. And
that would be. I can see that.
Some kind of like, yeah.
What about a horror film?
No.
We do that?
No. I would probably good in a horror film, because like I scare easily. So like if somebody tells me that like somebody's gonna jump out of a closet, I'll like at this time, and then they don't do it at that time, but they do it later, I'll be like, like that actual will be like real. That will be a real emotion. Yeah.
So I take it you don't like scary movies.
No, sir. I don't look at scary movies. No. The best I can do is Nightmare on Elm Street, and that's just about it. Yes.
Oldie but a goodie. So that is funny. So no to scary movies. Is it just the thought of just being scared, or the gore, or just it's just thought of being scared? I'm guessing.
I just don't think I would watch it. You know, like I mean, okay, a thriller maybe. Like a thriller I can do, because that kind of, it's like a mind game too. But like just like actually like slaughter horror. Yeah. You know, like the black person always dies first. So I'm not gonna last in the movie long, right? I may have like 10 minutes in that movie. You know what I mean?
but they lasting longer now. They lasting longer.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are.
If Jordan Peele calls me to be in a scary movie, I'll do that.
Me and you both.
The only scary thing I'll be in.
Right. You know, you have a chance of survival. That is too funny.
For sure.
What about, do you have any plans to do anything behind the camera?
I like editing, and I like understanding like the sound mixing bit, like after it's done, like how to produce a film. I would totally love to do that, but like camera work and all that, probably not. And writing, probably not, because I just don't feel like I have that kind of creative talent, you know, to write something. But definitely like with editing and mixing, I would definitely love to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Couple more questions. We're gonna get you out of here because I know you're a busy woman. So we know that you sang. You not sing, but sang with the A in it. Beautiful, very lovely voice as well.
Thank you.
I enjoy hearing. I'm like, when I heard, because I didn't know, because like, you know, you just acting, and then when I heard, I think you posted something, I looked and I was like, oh, she can sing. Like, wait.
It was during quarantine. Quarantine made me sing.
Really?
Sing again. Yeah, I brought out the singing because there was nothing else to do. Just saying all these little things.
That's what this quarantine, man. You just find something to do to keep your mind occupied and just keeps from being sane. So, oh my
I think
goodness.
everybody's a singer. I didn't know that James was a singer until like 2 days ago.
2 weeks ago, was the
It was like 2 weeks ago. He just bust out, started to sing.
I was like,
like, where did this come from?
Everybody getting those hidden talents coming out.
Them hidden oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Sure.
So thank you, appreciate it. It was man, it was the what's the name? One of the other, when I was doing Deke Anderson's acting school, I was doing another acting school with it. John Lanch, Mike knows about John Lanch.
Yes.
And so he was saying, whatever you can do, just do it in front of the camera. And they told me to do. He just said, you can, you know, do this, do whatever. And so everybody was going in there saying, like, for example, McDonald's, their old commercial, and they were saying, yeah, you know, say this in a commercial way, or, you know, like you're presenting, hey, try to, you know, McDonald's, you know, Big Mac or whatever. And so I went in there and he just said, okay, you know, just do whatever. And I was like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. And so everybody was in the hallway. And so, you know, when you in the audition, you just focus. And so when I walked out, everybody looked at me like, oh, so you ain't gonna tell us? I'm like, I just, you know, hey.
The runs, that vibrato. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Some songs I can. Some songs like, yeah, don't mess with that no more. So
yeah.
Know your limits.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, know your limits, because some people be going off the deep end with them runs, and I'll be like, okay, Miss Lady over here. Try to reach that high note and you can't, and you know, because your vocal cords are telling you no, ma'am.
Yes. Stay right there. Stay right there.
Yes, for sure.
I was gonna say, we like to pave the way by paving it forward, and I was gonna just ask. I always ask, I guess, what is just some advice you would give somebody that's either new to acting like myself or someone that's interested in possibly getting into it? What piece of advice would you give them?
I would say, practice makes perfect. I mean, a lot, and believe in yourself and invest in yourself as well, because a lot of people think that maybe, you know, I'm just going to be lucky with finding something, or and in acting, it doesn't happen like that. Like, I've learned from even having an agent that just having an agent doesn't really mean anything. Like, you still won't get that job just because you're signed to something that somebody knows. So like, if you invest in yourself and get all the work that you need, learn all the things that you could possibly know. So when you get into that audition room, when you leave out, you say like, yeah, I know I got that. I killed it.
Leave it on.
Yeah, because just learning from Shelly or from Deke, from all my coaches that I've ever had, that really helped me out in the casting room, for sure. If I didn't learn from them, like, I remember the first time I went to audition for like in front of all these theater people at stages. It's called like the Alliance auditions, and it happens once a year, and you audition in front of all these theater companies in Houston. I had no training. I was like, I'm just gonna get back in acting. My skills are just gonna be so dope. Blah, blah, blah. I bombed that audition. Like I looked like a fool. And then after that, like with my tail tucked between my legs coming out, I was just like, no, I need help. You know? And so like, I know some people say like, you know, oh, well, this class is so expensive, this class is that expensive and all stuff like that. But the money will be worth it. Yeah. Because you got to think about the acting gigs that you get. You mean you could be getting $200 a day. That's like 6 weeks worth of classes right there, you know? So
investing in yourself.
I hope that helped. I'm sorry.
No, that helps.
Yeah, it helps big time.
Yeah,
it does.
For sure. Yeah, you gotta invest in yourself and believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, I mean, you're not gonna get that far. And I mean, in this world, you get rejected a lot. So like, don't let that really get into your head, because like, if you know, one day you're gonna get something, you know. A lot of no's equals one yes. That's another good piece of advice as well.
Yeah,
a lot of no's equal one yes.
Yep, I always feel like you didn't get enough no's yet before you get yes.
For every like 10, 20 no's, you get that one yes, and that will make
that one
like
yes
a world of a difference. Yeah, for sure.
Drop them gems, sis. Drop them gems.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate you for your time and everything.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Like I know it was hard getting out that bed. Like I said, the bed will pimp you if you let it.
Oh, I just rolled.
Just rolled.
Rolled over, put some mascara on, and got me a coffee. I was just like,
okay, let's go. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And I hope to work with all of you one day. It'll be really awesome.
We will. Sure. I'm looking forward to it. I have fun on set. We all have fun on set, so I'm looking forward to it. So before we let you go, do you have any any recordings, any commercials, anything you've done? Anything like
I previously did a commercial that has not come out yet. So I think I filmed it back in like the last part of June, but it may take a while. But if you follow Pastorini Bosby, all their talent stuff, like they'll upload it on their Instagram on Pastorini Bosby, and I'll probably put it on my Instagram as well. But I filmed a short called Sunday Dinner with Dante Gray, and that will be coming out August 27th. So hopefully it'll come out August 27th. It was supposed to come out in July, but I think he kind of pushed it a little bit more. But I'm in the first episode. I'll be the real Chantel Marie. I'm playing an Instagrammer, and she is not too nice. But yeah,
gotcha.
Those are like the biggest projects that I've just finished. So hopefully you guys will see me.
We will. I'm looking forward to it.
Can you tell people where we can follow you, or where they can follow you on Instagram?
Yes, on Instagram, Mariah Baillie 1 is one of them, and then only Mariah B for my singing page. I think it's only Mariah B. I probably should have wrote this down.
It's all good.
I probably should have wrote this down.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's like only Mariah B for the singing one, and only has like 2 I's because somebody else took that. And then Mariah Baillie 1 is my personal, like you can see all my nice little glamour pictures or whatever.
Gotcha.
But I'm really posting on the Mariah Baillie 1. Yeah.
Okay. Mariah, once again, you have been a joy like always. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.